Hello everyone, Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Cataclysm Classic pre-patch and our Orc Hunters leveling campaign. Thank you guys very much for clicking on the video and joining me here today. I do appreciate it, and I hope you are all doing well. We are continuing our journeys in Tanaris. We're going to head all the way over to what I think used to be the Pirates' Cove. Not really sure if there's still pirate stuff going on over in that area, but we are bound to find out. We just have a little bit of a run ahead of us. So I'll probably start talking about this as we get closer to level 60. But I'm trying to come up with my plans for the character after level 60, and I would love to hear your guys' input. Part of me wants to get this character to level 60 completely in the old world. I know typically you go to Outland at level 58, I really don't want to do that. And I also don't think it's necessary with the changes to XP gains and stuff like that, so I think we'll be able to keep this character in the old world all the way to 60. After that, you know, to get the character to 80, we have to do Outland, and we would have to do Northrend. The reality is, as I'm recording this, it is the 13th of May, and Cataclysm expansion goes live fully on the 20th of May. And at this point, I'll probably be playing either my warrior or my paladin as the first character that I'm going to take through the 80 to 85 content, as for like getting into endgame and stuff like that. So I'm not in a huge rush to get the character to level cap. What I would like is I would like to see more of the remade zones. That's kind of my biggest reason for playing Cataclysm, is mainly so that we can see the zones and so that I can read all the quests. So part of me wants to park the character at 60 and level up some other characters, and then maybe eventually we can do a poll as to like which ones we're going to get to level cap first. That would be after I get my first character to cap that I'm taking right into the 80 to 85 content on May 20th. So yeah, you guys let me know. I'm thinking like after this character hits 60, I will probably jump onto an alliance character for like a big change of pace, change of feels, change of scenery. And we will do, we'll do Eastern Kingdoms Alliance. And then I want to do Eastern Kingdoms Horde side. And then I want to do Kalimdor Alliance stuff. And, you know, with those 4 playthroughs, we should hit the majority of the zones at least once. There might be some zones that we don't get to. And there might be some zones that we only see one faction for. But that's kind of my thought process, is from here we do Alliance Eastern Kingdoms, then we do Horde Eastern Kingdoms, then we do Alliance Kalimdor. So let me know what you guys think about that. I would love to hear from you. Other things I've thought about for eventually getting these characters from 60 to 85. I've thought about a couple of different things. I thought maybe taking them into the streams, maybe doing a couple of weekend streams and getting the characters leveled up through that content that way. I've also thought about doing like playing throughout the week and then just doing like a highlights video for my week of playtime, as opposed to putting out like video after video after video of like Outland leveling and Outland questing and Northrend stuff that we've already done. We've already seen it so many times. Maybe just making like a recap video, like a week's progress for the character.
Yeah? What do you want?
Would be something different than anything I've done before on the channel.
Have a good one.
Let's see, momentum. Good thing you're here. I'm gonna need a lot of help if we want to beat these gnomes to the punch.
See you around, friend.
Okay.
Don't be a stranger.
Dead man's chest. Look, babe, you should be able to see what's happening here pretty easily. There's pirates, there's goblins, and the goblins are fighting the pirates. There's some sad little gnomes trying to fight the pirates too. I'll make it nice and simple for you. We need to kill a lot of pirates. Go do that, okay? We don't want gnomes killing more than us, after all.
Catch you on the flip side.
To the ground. I've conducted a thorough appraisal of the real estate here. Unfortunately, its market value is just far too low to be of any use. We're going to have to renovate. Luckily for you, I've learned a few things about arson. Hopefully you have too. You're going to be throwing these perfectly safe bottles of flaming rum at those filthy ramshackle huts over there. Try not to stand downwind.
Keep your ear to the ground.
And booty duty. Let's not be wasteful here. These pirates have tons of valuable nonsense just sitting around, waiting to be fenced. Can you believe they just sit on this stuff? I mean, why do they even bother taking it if it's just going to sit around? Stolen goods should be sold off and used to buy shiny new things. Anyway, be a dear and go grab a bunch of their loot while you're busting heads.
Keep it real.
Alright, so yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm sure if you're an Alliance player, you're probably doing like essentially the exact same quest. It's just that at this point, your quest givers are different. At least that's what it feels like. The music here is really good. The music in this zone has been good. The odd thing is, like, the music does not at all match the vibe of the questing. The questing has, like, been more of the same kind of goblin stuff. We did a little bit with the blood trolls, and that was interesting. But aside from that, it's been more goblin stuff. And this music does not go with their aesthetic. As good as it is. I'm also pretty sure that whatever I play next, it's going to be a melee class. I'm thinking that we're going to do like a dwarf rogue for the first Alliance character. Some of you guys have said that like the hunter is just really, really overpowered. And that other classes don't quite kill as quickly. And I'm really curious to see that. We've been aim shot, one-shotting the majority of enemies for... it feels like about 15 hours now. At this point. So a change of pace would be welcome. A combat that lasts a little bit longer would be okay. That being said, I could probably do like a different build. I could probably, you know, when we were survival, we had like a 3-button rotation. It took about 3 button presses to kill enemies. So if I really just wanted to have to push more buttons, then there's probably other specs I could try. But that's kind of beside the point. You know, if I can kill an enemy with one cast, then I'm probably going to do that. You know, I'm probably not going to like artificially make it more difficult for myself. If that's simply how the class can be played, if the class is capable of it, then I'm probably just going to do it. So yeah, I'm just kind of hoping that the hunter is OP. And that our kill rate on other classes, maybe it won't be quite as high. That being said, I mean, the quick kill rate is only part of the issue with combat. The other really big issue with combat is that the enemies don't deal any damage to you, really. You have to be taking hits from like 3 or 4 enemies before you start to think, I could probably die. But then, like, you kill them so fast that even if you pull 3 or 4 enemies, if you just start focusing them down, then you're gonna be fine. If you panic, like, maybe they could kill you. So yeah, part of it is just that the enemies also just don't hit hard enough. I guess maybe we're also burning these down. Yeah, see, we should be burning these down as we go. It felt like we were still stuck in combat with this guy, even though we had not attacked him.
Yo, be careful out there.
Oh, I did a little bit of housekeeping I should have got to earlier in the video. I did go to Ogre and I learned mail. I learned a bunch of stuff. We got trap launcher, we got some more traps, we got a lot of like track giant, track this, track that. Nothing like impactful, super impactful to our rotation, obviously. Yeah, trap launcher, and then we can equip mail now. That's about it. Of course, we don't want stamina intellect, so for now we're still taking the leather.
Go get him, champ.
Going off task. As you may have seen, the ship docked to the north has its cannons blazing. While it's pretty fun watching the gnomes run face first into a hail of iron, my bruisers keep doing it too, and it's absolutely killing my overhead expenses. I'd like you to try to dance through the cannon fire, get on that ship, and kill the taskmaster leading the cannoneers. The rest of the crew is probably a bunch of spineless prats. Once he's down, we should be good.
Keep it real. Be careful out there. See you around, friend. Catch you on the flip side. Go get him, champ.
And filling our pockets. We've looted everything that isn't bolted down around here, but I'm not done yet. If we're bothering to do the Steam Weedle cartel's dirty work for them, we're going to make as much cash as we can while we're here. I haven't seen many earrings on these pirates, so the gold must be in the next best place, their teeth. The South Sea Musketeers and Strong Arms to the south are higher-ups here. They'll be the ones with adornment. Bring me back a good fistful of gold fillings.
Have a good one.
Alright. We're like, basically, we're considered in combat with probably so many things that we're likely not going to be able to mount up again until we leave this entire area behind. So yeah, that's why you'll see me running a lot in this area without getting on my mount, and that is why. A couple of you guys have mentioned aspects in the comments, like sometimes I don't have my buffs up. I think most of the time I probably do. But the real issue is obviously when I'm one-shotting enemies, I'm not really thinking about my buffs, you know. Now, if suddenly the buff wasn't up and suddenly I felt substantially weaker, then yeah, maybe I'd be like, oh, my buffs. But it's all part of the same issues that like combat suffers from in Cataclysm. It's all connected. You'll also notice, you know, at this point probably that I haven't been leveling up cooking. I haven't been leveling up first aid. It's like when combat is this easy. When combat is this easy, it de-incentivizes me to level up first aid and cooking. You know, I don't really need it. Like, let's take this pull for example. Like, a pull that probably, like, should rightly get us killed. In reality is not going to be an issue. And on the Hunter, I'm not even going to take a lot of damage. Now, if I were, like, a melee class, maybe I will want first aid on a melee class. Because a melee class, you know, without a pet is just going to take more damage overall. So I think I'll do first aid. When we do our Dwarf Rogue, I'll do first aid. I don't know if I'll bother with cooking. Cooking is one of those things, like, you only need one character with it. Especially in this mode of the game. Like I said, there's not really a big incentive to be leveling that up as you go. Because eventually, you just need one character with cooking and then you're all set. You know, whereas when you're playing Classic Era, like especially when you're playing Hardcore, you really come to rely on the food buffs while you're leveling up and things like that. Obviously not necessary here. This guy he's on one of the boats, right? But who knows what boat he's on. I'll check the Thar boat first and then we'll work our way back. That little charge they do, the jump through the air, it really, the only class that it only inconveniences hunters. Like, that little ability they do is not going to negatively impact anybody else. But they get right into our dead zone with it. This guy he's probably not here, you know, like he's probably just not here. I'm gonna poke my head below deck. Yeah, I don't see him being down in the cargo hold. That doesn't really make sense. And he's not back in the command room where typically we'd find like a named guy. So I'm gonna head out. We'll check the other boat. Pretty sure I saw him down there. If only I had line of sight on this guy, that'd be great. And, you know, as we're talking about the combat and stuff like that, like, keep in mind, like, I'm having a really fun time with the playthrough. The biggest part of the playthrough for me is just seeing the zones, reading the stories, you know what I mean? That's kind of like the whole thing we're doing here. But I can definitely see, like, if you're just your average player, and you're going through a level up experience where the combat feels, like, super trivial, it kind of devalues your experience a little bit, you know? Like, I can see why people started to only care about getting to max level, with this being how combat was treated and evolved over time. Like, instead of combat getting more interesting, combat just got, like, a lot simpler, just so trivialized to the point where it almost feels like it's meaningless. It almost does start to feel that the combat is simply something that stands in your way from completing a quest, and just, you know, it's just time, it's time killing, basically, right? It doesn't often feel like good gameplay. That's all I can say. I mean, I could say more. That's all I will say for now. I'll probably have more opinions later on, and once we played a couple of different classes, I'll have a better idea. But the Hunter has been, like, just super trivial combat. And I could see how people would start to feel over time that this is just gatekeeping from max level and not really, like, necessarily gameplay. It's gameplay for me because my objective is to see the stories and stuff. But that's not really everyone's goal when it comes to playing WoW. Like, some people just want to sit down and play a fun video game. That being said, you could find one-shotting guys like every other pull could be fun for you. You know, this combat could be fun for somebody. And let me know how you guys are feeling about the combat. If you're leveling up a character in Cataclysm, let me know what class you are. and how you feel about your leveling combat. How do you feel about your moment-to-moment gameplay? Again, the other guys have a charge, these guys have a pull, and the only class that it negatively impacts is the Hunter class. It's hilarious.
What's up? Don't be a stranger. Keep your ear to the ground. Glad I could help. Have a good one.
Alright, I've got something bigger for you to take on here. We spotted the captain of the South Sea over on one of his boats to the south. That's to the south, and not the one we've been suicidally bum rushing for the better part of several hours. He's waiting up there, smug and stoic, watching us war down here. I'll spare you the hostile takeover jokes. Get on his ship and beat the tar out of him, and we're done here.
Glad I could help.
Are they like referencing their own quest from like vanilla hostile takeover? Okay, okay. That's when you know you're running out of material. I'm really interested in these ruins over here. Is this Caverns of Time? Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. I was interested. Yeah, I realize what it is. It's just Caverns of Time. I mean, okay, I guess the pull is probably going to interrupt you if you're a caster. So it impacts anybody casting, I guess. To be fair. Yeah, if you... Ooh, damn. Why is he a skull? I don't really like that he's a skull. And that I see a corpse near him. It says fear the beard. Let's see. There's really no indication that we need to use an item or call in reinforcements or anything. Then again, dead player, skull icon. Let's see if it's just bugged. It's probably just bugged. Yeah, he's totally bugged. He doesn't... When you have a skull in World of Warcraft, it means that it's an enemy like 10 levels over your character level. That's what it's supposed to mean. Obviously here in Cataclysm Classic pre-patch, with all of the bugs, it means absolutely nothing. So, good to know. Good to know. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We're gonna grab this mail gear. We're gonna lose some agility, but we're gonna gain some haste. Not even really sure if we need haste, to be honest, but
Keep your ear to the ground.
for the sake of like, we're 48 levels in, we can finally start collecting some transmog, because as someone pointed out to me, all the leather that we have collected so far, for whatever reason, even though you wear leather for 40 levels, you don't get to collect any transmog when you're a shaman who's wearing leather. And it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. If I wear leather for 40 levels, then I should be collecting the transmog for leather, because I was a leather-wearing class for 40 levels. But apparently, it only matters what your final armor class is. So yeah, now we're finally able to start collecting some of the male appearances. We've done a bang-up job here. I'm gonna make sure these mooks finish properly and then head back to Gadgekstan for a bit. If you want to keep making a good impression on our Steam Weedle friends, or just make more money, you should head southwest of here. Bootlegger Outpost is set up on the edge of the gaping chasm. Talk to Zeke Bootscuff. I'd bet good money he'll need help.
Keep it real.
More goblin stuff. More goblin stuff. Eventually we'll I'm hoping, you know, the zone that was my favorite so far was probably Feralus. Northern Barrens, Southern Barrens, also great. But so far my favorite zone has been Feralus. It's just been like, it's felt like the most classic, I guess. Obviously there were changes, there were like added quest hubs, probably added quest, reworked quest. But it felt the most classic. I think a part of that was like you didn't have the like a faction war going on all around you. I don't know. Alright, let's head further down to the south here. I'm assuming we can get through this way. At least I hope that we can. And we'll see what's going on at the Bootlegger Cove or whatever. I'm hoping that Ungoro and Silithus will feel more like Feralus did. And less like Stonetail Mountains, and hopefully with 100% less goblins than either the Thousand Needles or Tanaris so far. Of course, of course. One thing you guys might also be noticing by this point in the series is that the episode length has been getting, like, slowly creeping up. The episode length, if I'm doing what I plan to do at this point, then the episode length is probably slowly creeping up, and the episodes will probably keep getting a little bit longer and a little bit longer. The reason for that is, you know, even just leveling up to 60, it's going to take us, like, probably 40 or 50 episodes for the series to get a character through all the old world content that they can do. And that's not counting eventually taking them through Outland and Northrend. You know, taking them to Northrend through Outland, that's probably going to be like an 80 episode series. And on YouTube, once you pass like a certain amount of episodes, the viewership goes way down. And so one of my plans for future playthroughs is to just, I'm going to make the episodes longer. So we're going to have longer episodes. And, you know, some of them might be an hour and a half. Some of them might be approaching the 2-hour mark. Really just however long I can play for a session. I'm just going to try to make the episodes longer. That way all the content is there. And I don't have to do things like recap videos or skipping like entire zones. And just doing recaps. I want to be able to capture the whole journey, and I feel like the best way to do that for the channel is going to be if the episode length is just longer for these runs. You could say, like, Robert, what does it matter? What does it matter? It's going to be the same amount of playtime. To the YouTube algorithm, it matters. You know, there's a big difference between putting out one video in a day and then getting X amount of views, or putting out 2 videos in a day and getting half the amount of views on each of those videos. It's better for a channel to put out the one video, get double the views on the one video in a 24-hour period, and just have it be, in this case, have it be a longer video. So same amount of content, with just probably like maybe less uploads. Or more playtime and same amount of uploads, and then either way, instead of having a series that is 80 episodes long, you have a series that's 40 episodes long, and it just overall becomes a little bit more digestible, I think. At least it becomes more digestible for the YouTube algorithm, and unfortunately, like, I have to care about those things a little bit. Bootlegger Outpost, you're with Megs, huh? Word is she's been pretty hell-bent on making nice with Noggin Fogger. Not like I care. Are you ready to kill some bugs?
Keep it real. Be good.
Cutting losses. I spent the last week staring at this ugly pit, trying to think of how to exploit it. How to exploit a bunch of dangerous, violent arthropods for profit. Now I'm out of ideas and starving. These things are awash, and I say it's time to start clearing them out. Head down into that pit and start killing bugs.
Keep it real. Be good.
A few good goblins. We haven't just been camped here singing songs with gnomes and playing with dangerous machinery, you know. My men have been trying to clear that hive out for a week now. Problem is, we've taken so many losses by now that the bugs have the advantage. Lucky for us, the bugs either don't like to eat goblins, or they like us so much that they save us as treats, because nearly all my men are cocooned up out there. I need you to go save them.
Have a good one.
What if they're infested, like the facehuggers in Alien? Like, do you really want to bring these people back after they've been cocooned up? It seems like a bad idea. Alright, Silithid stuff is interesting. Yes, we're still working with goblins, but we're getting into some Silithid stuff, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna jump down here, even though I'm not sure exactly how I'm getting back up. Oh, yeah, I could skin these guys. For some reason, I always forget that we can skin. Also, I forgot to train skinning back in Orgrimmar, but that might be okay. I don't really even know how high the skill levels go in Cataclysm. Maybe it goes up to 425, so I'll have to get that done. At some point today, off recording, I will have to do the long flight back to Orgrimmar, and I'll have to train that up. Oh, there we go, professional artisan. Nice. I guess to talk a little bit more, let's talk a little bit more about like the combat. I guess like one of the things I was thinking about is that when you're not taking a lot of damage and when resource management isn't really a thing you have to be concerned with, an RPG feels a lot less like an RPG. Like, WoW has never been hard. Like, the combat in World of Warcraft has never been, like, super challenging from the perspective of, like, leveling up a character in the open world. It's always been relatively easy, especially back in Classic. The rotations have been pretty simple to understand, the abilities are readable, the talents are readable, everything kind of makes sense. What gives it the impression of what people call difficulty or challenge is that in Vanilla era, there are more things to consider. When you're taking damage, when you're running out of resources, there are just more things to think about while you're leveling up, while you're playing the game. You have to worry about your gear. You have to worry about, you know, eating and drinking. You have to worry about leveling first aid. You have to worry about maybe sometimes having potions on hand because doing a spirit run is mighty inconvenient sometimes. And there's just more to think about. It's not necessarily that the game was hard from like a combat perspective. It's just that when you're taking damage, when you're spending resources, when fights go on for more than a couple seconds, there are just more RPG elements to consider. And at this point in WoW's evolution, a lot of the things that would be considered like RPG staples are kind of being stripped away. You know, even if you are a mana class, you don't really have to worry so much about your mana. Even when we're getting hit, we don't really take a lot of damage. And this character especially, there has not really been much need for us to eat and drink. There has not been much need to heal between pulls. And all of it makes the game feel easier, but that's not really what's happening. It's just that there's less to think about. You don't have to think. You can just kind of go through an area and you can turn your brain off and you can hit some buttons and you can come out the other side victorious. Even if you want to think about stuff, there just isn't that much to consider. Other things play into this, like the viability of different types of gear and different builds. Like, you know, back in the day, maybe you would want spirit on your gear because you would want to be regenerating your HP between pulls because you would be taking damage. So maybe in vanilla era, maybe you would you'd say, hey, that gear has spirit on it. That seems good. Do I want to stack some spirit on my gear? And it's just like things like that, like the RPG core essence of the game. In Cataclysm, by Cataclysm, it's just kind of stripped away. I feel like eventually they go back in and they kind of add some things throughout WoW's life to put some RPG elements like back into it. But this might be as like bare bones as it gets for the game feeling like an RPG. Right now, I guess it's more comparable to maybe an ARPG or like a tab target action game. Is tab target action game an oxymoron? It probably is. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts. It's like part of it is combat, but it's like the combat is not the biggest part of it. The biggest difference is just that you don't have to think very much. And vanilla at least gives you things that you can think about. Alright, speaking of thinking, let's head back and get these turned in. We are done with the objectives.
What's up? Keep it real. Have a good one. Be good.
Here we go. We can pick up some more mail.
Have a good one.
That got us level 49. Very nice. We picked up another quest here. I've got an idea, but we're going to need bait. The other day I saw a rabid blisterpaw hyena wander too close to the edge of the chasm, and one of the Silithid comes diving out of nowhere, nearly swallowed it whole. Horrible sight. So we're gonna need hyena meat, obviously. Go gather some, make sure it's fresh, and bring it back here. There should be plenty just north of the camp. Alright, we're going after hyenas. I have another quest here. This one from a gnome, my other favorite race. Gazer tag, you're going out to hunt hyenas, huh? If you don't mind, I've got an offer myself. I'm in need of eyes from the glass-eyed gazers that lurk in the north. Their eyes contain wonderful crystals valuable to collectors. Now, you may have heard that the sad individuals use these to enhance paramental abilities, but I assure you my interests are purely academic. Bring me a good portion of them and I'll pay you for them. Better than these copper-pinching goblins will, at least.
You have a great day now.
Alright, back to the north we go. Rapid recuperation, you gain 6 focus every 3 seconds while under the effects of rapid fire. Master Marksman, you have a 20% chance when you steady shot to gain the Master Marksman effect. We're not steady shotting a lot. Readiness, when activated this ability finishes cooldowns. I don't really care about cooldowns. See, this is the other thing. When leveling content is super easy, like, you really don't have to care about your talents. None of the talents really have seemed appealing to me because they just don't matter. You know, like, when you're picking talent points that are going to boost your damage, and that damage boost is going to keep you alive, it's going to keep you from taking excessive damage, then you can care, but like, I'm already one-shotting stuff. So, like, I don't care about any of these things. These talent trees are built for a player who is playing endgame. That's what these talent trees are for. All of the abilities in this talent tree, if you are doing heroic raiding or whatever, any kind of raiding, any kind of endgame stuff, then you're going to really care about most of these talents. There's going to be good ones, there's going to be bad ones, whatever. But while you're leveling up as like a solo player just leveling up out in the world, none of these really, they don't really matter very much. Some of them give you a little bit more crit, some of them give you, you know, a little bit more damage, but they're not like overly impactful. You could probably have an empty talent tree here and you could be doing just fine. That's the reality of it. Yeah, like right now I don't care enough about any of these to take them. I guess if I was looking at it from an endgame perspective, I'd probably take rapid recuperation. So we'll go with that. This is another one of those things where, like, the quest tracking is clearly bad. It has this entire area circled, but we haven't seen anything. Here we go. There are probably, realistically, there are probably a couple of different smaller areas that would be more accurate. Alright, weird instant respawn, I'll take it. That is 5 out of 5 for the ocular crystals. Now we're just looking for hyenas.
Need assistance? Be seeing you. Off and away.
Yo! Be good! Keep it real. Be good!
And now that we've got a good pile of fresh chunks, we just tie it to this rope, and now you're ready to go catch me a Silithid. What? Don't give me that look, it's perfectly safe. Well, mostly safe. Okay, you might die painfully. But it'll be easy. Just throw this meat out there, wait for the bug to pounce on it, and then drag him back here by the rope. Go after one of the swarmers. I haven't seen the other ones go for hyenas before. And you should find plenty of swarmers around the edge of the pit.
Keep it real.
I guess this guy is not a swarmer, he's a sand reaver. Okay. We got workers, sand reavers, we got stingers. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where we're gonna find the swarmers. What about this guy? Nope, sand reaver. Are we sure they don't want it? We're sure they don't want it? Oh, wait, maybe... No, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe there is a specific type of enemy we are going after. We'll have a little bit of a look around. They don't mark any real area. The quest tracking is obviously just not good. So we can't really count on that. Somewhere there's a swarmer. Yeah, this guy's mind controlling one, so now we get a little prelude of what's next. I don't know if following him is going to help very much. Here we go, right here. Yeah, I guess we got him. Is he gonna mind if I mount up? He is gonna mind. He's gonna mind if I mount up, in the sense that he's gonna completely vanish into thin air. Leaving me to go find yet another swarmer to try our luck again. That's great. Perfect. And they don't seem to be super common either. Yeah, see, the next one is all the way down here. That's gonna be a fun run back. I'm sure if we get into combat, they'll probably disappear also. Alright, we have him with us for now. Let's try not to push any buttons or get attacked by anything.
Time is money, friend. Have a good one. Keep it real.
Now it's time for my plan to go into full effect. We've got the captured bug strapped up with as many explosives as it can carry, and with Soothfancy's most amazing mental powers, we're gonna drive that sucker straight down into the center of the underground hive. And then boom, no more bugs. You get the personal honor of directing the ugly thing, go talk to Narian, and get set up with your bug pail.
Have a good one.
Okay. Who am I talking to? Go talk to somebody. Oh, okay. Yes. Of course. They're probably right nearby. No, you are an innkeeper.
Yo,
You are a flight master.
be good.
Hey, yeah. Time is money, friend. Yeah, what do you want? Interesting.
Oh, it's this dude's first name. Okay, I see.
My, you're a tall
He
one.
called him Sooth Fancy, and then he called him Narian. He has a first and last name, it turns
Have
out.
a great day now.
Oh, sniff for pheromones to find your way to the hive. Okay. Okay, that's working fine, I'm sure. Boom, done. Cool, cool, cool. I'm assuming that's probably basically it for this area. Not for the zone, but probably for this area. We should have some stuff to do, I'm hoping, in the southwest. There used to be ogres there, we'll see.
Hey, how you doing?
What do we want? So let's take... well, we'll take the legs to sell them.
Keep it real. Be good.
Returning the favor, you know, while you were out doing your thing, Meg stopped by here. I hadn't seen her in months, but she barely gave me the time of day. Just wanted me to tell you she had more business lined up. She said she was headed over to the Dune Mall compound to set up shop. Something about ogres. Since you're done here, might as well head over. I wouldn't keep a goblin like her waiting.
Have a good one.
Yes, we are doing goblin stuff still. We're gonna go check out the ogres. That's okay. I don't have anything against Megs.
Yeah. Be careful out there.
I've got a great one for you this time, Rambles. We're gonna initiate the ogres into the Horde, working directly under us.
See you around, friend.
As I may have mentioned, I'm trying to get these Dune Mall ogres to join the Horde and work for the Bilgewater Cartel as cheap local labor. To pull this off, we've got to pay lip service to the actual initiation process and all that, or I'm gonna catch flack later on. So I've gotten this charter drawn up and slapped the initiation rights onto our own limited time offer labor stipulation contract. I've got a disguise for you here, so suit up and get all these signatures filled out.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay. This is what we're doing. I kind of expected that, like, for gameplay, sometimes this would fail and then you'd have to fight them. But apparently that's not going to happen. Apparently the quest is just go click on 10 ogres. Which, I mean, like, to be fair, like, that's basically exactly what we do when we kill things. We click on them and they die. So it's really, like, not that much different than the rest of the gameplay experience. And this is probably as close as we'll ever get to having an ogre playable race, so we should just enjoy it, I guess. Enjoy that belly wiggle.
Well, spit it out. Go get him, champ. Catch you on the flip side.
Get the Senta party started. Okay, like I said, the ogres are too dumb to know what signing that charter meant. Now we have to actually get them to come along with us, so we'll be procuring what is apparently a beloved local flavor. Beloved local flavor for drooling idiots, I mean. Just pop on over to the Noxious Lair to the west. It's that big, horrible pit full of dangerous Silithid. Kill a bunch of the Centipar Silithid and bring back the pieces so we can hand them out, okay?
Be careful out there.
Okay, sure. Yes. Skin them. You can skin them. It's so weird, because, like, in my mind, they don't have leather, they have exoskeletons. Like, I'm not really sure how you, like, successfully skin a carapace, and that turns into leather, but okay.
What's shaking? Glad I could help. Have a good one.
Maul 'em with kindness. Okay, babe, listen up. There's two ways to get people to do what you want. You can provide goods, services, and things people want, or you can beat the living daylights out of them. I've often found it's useful to do both at the same time, and you're pretty familiar with both methods by now. Take these little Silithid treats, go and beat some ogres dizzy, then give them the treat before you knock them completely dead, okay?
Keep it real.
I guess that's one way to do it, yeah. I mean, you could do it that way. We're not going to be able to use aim shot here, like, at all. We might just have to auto attack.
What's the word on the street? See you around, friend.
My other assistants are making sure our proud new comrades are put into comfy cages and shipped to where they're needed most, for the Horde. Meanwhile, we've got one last item on our agenda. Sandscraper, the chief of the Dunewall clan, is probably too dumb to even be aware of what we're doing here. But I absolutely loathe unfinished business. He's lurking in the den just over there to the west. Knuckle down, take him out, and we'll be good to sign off on this.
Go get him, champ.
There is a crate back here, some kind of treasure. Inside this weathered stone chest at the back of the stone scraper lair, you find a curious artifact. Shaped like a beetle, its surface is smooth, brilliant blue, lined with gold. It looks mechanical, but unlike anything you've seen crafted by mortal hands, and very old. Megs will probably be interested in this. Some kind of old god or titan thing?
Hey, how you doing?
What do we want to grab here? We could grab a fist weapon. We don't really need it. That being said, we don't need anything else either. Let's grab the fist weapon.
Catch you on the flip side.
I didn't realize we could equip fist weapons.
Don't be a stranger.
You found that in an ogre den? That's nothing to get excited about, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just a perfectly benign trinket that I'm gonna give you precisely detailed instructions on exactly how to handle. Megs drops her voice to a whisper. Keep your voice down and don't wave that thing around.
Keep your ear to
Listen
the
carefully, Rambles. I don't know how those ogres got a hold of it, but that thing's a titan artifact. I'm no expert, but just that fact alone makes it probably older than the sand we're standing on. I also know that things like this are nothing but trouble. I don't want anything to do with it. Take it south to the Valley of Watchers, and give it to a blood elf named Andoran Dawnrise. And don't ask any questions, please.
See you around, friend.
She is done with us. I thought she was gonna want to take it and like sell it for a profit. She was like, no. No, no, no. And then let's put this in our offhand. We could probably just do that. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay. Let's see. Do we have a vendor here? Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and empty our inventory. I guess I can start equipping some of these for transmog, since now we can actually get transmog off of the chainmail. And then I guess our dwarf rogue will be the one that starts collecting leather appearances. They don't want any of these items. That's awesome. Alright, where are we going? We are going all the way down to the southwest. I'm actually really surprised that... Oh, we do have a flight point. I was gonna say, no flight point? Very shocking. We do have one. Alright. Food and drink, trade goods. Of all the... You found this in an ogre den? Unthinkable. I'm amazed they didn't try to smash it to pieces. With any luck, Hunter will be able to obtain even more fascinating antiquities here, if you're willing to help. Laying claim. We are not the only ones who have discovered the value of South Moon ruins. The dwarves of the Explorers League have swarmed there, taking artifacts and inscriptions for the Alliance. I don't think I have to explain much further. We will not allow the discoveries here to fall into the hands of the Alliance. Slay as many dwarves as you can, and drive them from the ruins. This is cool, we get to explore some Titan ruins. Fragments of language. At the South Moon ruins just east of here, we've made some finds. My colleagues have found stone shards engraved with ancient writings, newly exposed by the shifting sands. The writings are in no known language, though they bear resemblance to markings we've seen on other ruins of the Titans. Deciphering them could reveal many more secrets. Unfortunately, my colleagues are also busy defending the tablets from the Alliance. I need you to go to South Moon ruins and retrieve the tablets yourself. And we got a goblin here, because of course we do.
Careful out there.
Hey, you look like a discriminating adventurer. Are you looking for something different, something exotic, something profitable? Well, shake the sand out of your boots because I've got a proposition for you. Willadin Marshall is looking for competent sellswords such as yourself. He set up camp at Marshall's Stand just southeast of the volcano in the center of the lush Ungoro crater. Then again, paradise isn't for everyone, Orc. It's up to you. Your tropical oasis awaits. That's cool. That's our level 52 Ungoro. So I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit... we'll probably hit 50 here at least, you know. And that'll be an okay time to be going into Ungoro. And then we'll probably... Maybe we get 55 in Ungoro and we get 60 in Silithus. And then, yeah, that's the journey. It's weird to think, but we are getting towards the end of it. And then, yeah, we just have to decide, like, how we handle these characters from 60 to 85. Do we level them up on streams? Do I do recap videos later on to get them leveled up? They could also just sit at 60. You know, for me, the Cataclysm leveling is so that we can see the new zones, see the new stories, see the new quest. We don't have to get every single character to 85 because, truth be told, I'm only going to have so much time to play characters in Cata Endgame. So maybe we'll get to a point where we just pick our favorites and we get them maxed out. For some reason I thought we were heading like right over here, like how cool would that be? But yeah, obviously we're not going that way. The other thing I've noticed is a common theme of Cataclysm zones that makes questing even easier is that there are so many areas like this where, sure, there's aggressive mobs here, and sure, sometimes the mob density is kind of thick. However, there are often also friendly mobs here occupying the aggressive mobs, so you can run through here, you can collect all these. It's not going to be challenging. It's very interesting how many areas actually have this mechanic going on, where you have allies fighting enemies who would otherwise be standing around aggressive to aggro you. Now they can't aggro you. That cuts down even more on the potential threat of every area. And there's the achievement for Tanaris questing, which means that we're nearing the end. For years, this valley has been sealed behind impenetrable gates. Now that the Cataclysm has torn them down, the secrets within are ours to discover. There are yet some obstacles in the way. From within the gates, the bygone creations of the Titans have awoken. They wander aimlessly across the sand, attacking any who approach. Someone needs to destroy the golems patrolling the valley. Are you up for it? Absolutely, I kind of figured that would be our next objective. Oh, we could take the male shoulders. 10 agility, 10 stamina. That's better than what we got. And that's level 50. That's awesome. There we go. Looks more like plate gear, but that's okay. The Crumbling Pass. The creatures wandering these ruins are earthen. Oh no. The ancient ancestors of dwarves made by the Titans to shape the world itself. The original earthen broke down and went awry thousands of years ago, and these freshly uncovered ones seem no different. We may as well make use of these confused and unstable constructs. Enter the ruins and destroy the earthen, and collect the jewels embedded in them. Their magical energies will be both valuable and worthy of study. Oh boy, I can't wait to see the earthen of Cataclysm, because like when they announced the earthen as a playable race, I was like, who? What? Who are the earthen? Why do we need more dwarves in the game? We already have all kinds of dwarves. Let's see. Secrets of Uldum. We are ready to enter the antechamber itself, Rambles. This is a momentous occasion. From the writings you've brought us, I believe these ruins were in fact once the grand entrance to Uldum itself. The quakes that ripped its doors open have probably collapsed the tunnels, but we may yet find amazing things hidden within. Search the ruins for anything intact that may be studied. The thrill of discovery awaits. Okay, we are going in. Let's have a look. So yeah, here's your new playable race, the Earthen of 2010. Very different, obviously, than what they're going to look like in War Within. But at least now I kind of understand, you know, some of their lore and history. Because, admittedly, I did not remember them at all. I'm not really sure why I got teleported out. I hope this is a bug. How fun would that be? Do we have like only a certain amount of time we can be in here before it teleports us out? And if so, I guess I should beeline to whatever this is. Let's finish the collection part. And then we'll attempt to do the turn-in, the breadcrumb, whatever's in here. Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm not sure. Like, honestly, I just don't know. Search the ruins for anything intact that may be studied. The thrill of discovery awaits. The thrill of getting teleported out time and time again. Maybe we can head over this way? I'm gonna give it like 1 or 2 more goes, and then I'm gonna be done with it, I think. I'm really kind of at a loss for like what's happening. We're not getting a lot of information about what's happening. It's almost, the game just doesn't want me to be here, and I'm not completely sure why. Yeah, guys, I'm over it. I would have loved to discover more. And if you guys know how, let me know. I don't know if we'll revisit it on this character or not. By the time you guys see this, I'll probably be max. I'll probably be level 60 by the time this video goes live in real time. But yeah, I'd still love to hear from you guys if you know what's going on with that quest. It's you know, something's up with it. It could be that there's something I don't understand about it. It seems unlikely. Nothing in the quest mentions any kind of timer. We don't see any kind of physical timer. So yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to turn this one in, and we are going to put a pin in Tanaris for now, and next time we're going to head into Ungoro Crater. So yeah, that's the plan, guys. Thank you all very much for being here today. I really appreciate you guys who are still on this journey with me. It does mean the world to me, so thank you so much. As always, take care of yourselves out there, and take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.